Bro, you judge movies really harshly.
Alright, for the last time, I'm not that harsh on movies. Hello and welcome to Truth and Judgment. My name is Alex and that over there is Titus. So today we're going to kind of talk about the way that we like to judge movies, because we've kind of heard it from more than a few people that we give really harsh scores. But the truth is maybe there just needs to be a little bit of reference. So as you know, we like to give movies the rating of a scale of 1 to 10. And a lot of our movies have a rating of 5 or 6, which a lot of people feel is not a very good score. But to give it a little bit of perspective, like a 10 is the best movie ever made. I probably would pay to watch it 4 or 5 times in theaters and then buy the movie and watch it over and over again. We have never rated a movie a 10. A 10 out of 10 is such a spectacular movie that there is no way to compare it to another film. It's blown every other film out of the water. Every single thing about it was absolutely perfect, and there was nothing to judge about it. It was a masterpiece.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have a 0 movie. And 0 movies are the exact opposite of 10 movies, where 10 movies get everything exactly right. They are the best of the best. 0 movies are the absolute worst, and they get everything absolutely wrong. Anything that they could get wrong, they did get wrong. And these movies are unwatchable. They are so broken and awful to the point of being unwatchable. These movies, or the literal worst movie of all time being the 0 movie, not like, I don't know if there's a movie named the 0 movie, but we're not talking about that. It's the movie that is rated at 0 would be the literal worst movie ever made, and it is so bad it is literally unwatchable.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, a 5 is an average movie. It wasn't great. It had its problems, but it wasn't just absolutely terrible. But it also, isn't one of those movies that I'm just going to be able to remember off the top of my head. If you ask me about it, I can probably remember what's happened, but it doesn't mean necessarily that it was it wasn't a fantastic movie. It was just an average movie. But you go see it in theaters, you don't regret paying to see it, but it's not something you're going to go pay to watch again. I mean, you might recommend it, you might not. It really depends on probably the person's tastes that you're recommending it to.
On the lower end of the spectrum, starting with 1 movies are riddled with problems. They have so many problems. You probably didn't finish watching this movie if you watched it at all. And it's kind of putting it lightly. These movies are so awful, you cannot just sit there and watch the entire movie. If you watch it in theaters, you probably left the theater it leaves it a sour taste in your mouth. 1 movies are just absolutely awful. 2 movies, they're one step up. They still have a lot of problems, but you could probably sit through the whole movie and watch it. You're not going to be, happy. You're going to be a little disappointed, but the sour taste in your mouth just isn't as much. It's just, it's still really bad. It still has a lot of problems, but you could probably sit through the whole movie and watch the whole thing. 3 movies are honestly they're still pretty bad, but they're not as bad. There's a lot of problems with the movie. It could have been a lot better. Maybe there was one glaring plot hole that just ruined the movie for you. But, you sat through the whole movie, you watched it, but you're probably not going to watch it again. It just kind of like left you kind of disappointed and wanting more. And last but not least, four movies are okay, right? Four movies are okay. They're just below average. There was, a few problems with it that kind of, it ruined the movie, honestly, but it's not the worst movie ever made, and you could probably watch it again, It was just okay. It had its problems. It was just okay.
A 6 movie is, it's a little better than average. It's good, but it had some problems. There are some things about it that didn't work for the film, whether or not that was the amount of information it contained, whether the plot was cohesive, things like that. It wasn't necessarily flawless, but it wasn't bad. The flaws that it did have didn't ruin the movie. And with that being said, a 7 is, a little better. The flaws aren't as clear, and you kind of have to look and see what was actually the problem. Now, an 8 movie is pretty good. An 8 movie is nearly flawless. It's got everything you want. It's got character development. It's got growth. And the flaws in the movie are very small, if any, that you can really tell just by watching it. You might have to, dig a little deeper and know a little bit more about the topic, especially when it comes to the comic book movies and things like that, or book adaptations. A 9 movie is just short of being perfect. It had that one flaw, or that one thing you didn't like, the one scene that went on too long, or something like that. And that might seem harsh, but like I said, a 10 is supposed to be the best movie ever. And frankly, we just haven't seen that yet. There's been a few 9s in our lifetime that, it's a movie I've seen multiple times in theaters. I own it. It's good to watch. It never gets old. But it's missing a certain element.
And with that being said, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Tell us what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are we harsh movie critics? Probably. But honestly, now I hope that after watching this video, you guys can have a little bit more understanding of our rating scale and how we rate movies. A 7 is not average. A 5 is average. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. You can, select, there's different tiers of the notification bell on how often you want to be notified. Just, we just really appreciate it if you just come back every once in a while and watch our videos. We'd like that, All right. And as always, this has been VNI Nation. Thank you and goodbye.